Okay, stargazers. I meant to do this the other day, but the day got away from me, technical difficulties, yada, yada, yada. But essentially, the upshot is that Mars went into Virgo yesterday morning here on the East Coast, hit 0 degrees, which would suggest that cooler heads will prevail. Needless to say, this is the exact opposite of what we're all experiencing right now, at least on the surface. So I was just having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine this morning because we're literally globally we're all having the same feelings right now. So we were discussing some things, and it occurred to us that this might be helpful to share with you guys because you might be going through this similar things. So the first thing is, at the end of this video we'll give you some dates to circle on the calendar, because there is a timeline involved here and we will get through this. But between here and there, here are some very important things I want you guys to keep in mind about your own self-care and keeping yourself together during this time. So the first thing to understand is that right now your adrenaline is bumping, like your adrenaline is coursing through your veins, literally like a fire hose shooting water. Now, adrenaline is a fight or flight hormone. It is a numbing agent, among other things. So one of the jobs of adrenaline is in an emergency or a perceived emergency, like we're all experiencing right now. Um, the adrenaline literally spikes and courses through the veins, and one of its jobs is to numb you so that you don't feel the aches and pains and injuries until it's safe again. So if you're being chased by a bear, your adrenaline is going to spike to literally create a numbness in you so that you don't feel the sprains, tears, breaks, and everything else until you get to safety and you can calm down and then do something about it. Right? But while you're being chased by the bear, this is not the time to acutely feel everything else. Now, the reason this is important is because adrenaline is a numbing agent, which means that you're not feeling things as with a normal sensitivity that you normally would. So whatever your physical activities are, be more gentle with yourself and be mindful that it is entirely possible that you could be causing more strain and injury than you realize because you're literally not feeling it right now. Oh, you'll feel it later. So to avoid the collection of bruises that might show up next week and you going, where the hell did this come from? Just understand that, and my girlfriend just went through this with yoga. Even if you're doing something as slow moving and gentle as yoga, don't push yourself. Like reduce the intensity by 25 or 50% because you're not feeling things as sensitively as you should be because the adrenaline like is coursing through your veins, right? So the second thing is get some magnesium in your system, right? Obviously, if you've got issues with magnesium or you need to check with your doctor if you've got kidney issues, like definitely do that. But if you don't have any kidney issues and there's no reason that you can't take a magnesium supplement or an Epsom salt bath, because that's magnesium and that will soak in, get into your system through the skin. If you don't have any issues with magnesium, get yourself some extra magnesium in your system right now. It will help you sleep better. It will help you feel better. Magnesium is a muscle relaxer, okay? Because the other thing it will also help do is it should help for those of you who are struggling, because stuff's really backed up now, right? Like nothing's moving. It's a traffic jam down there in your belly. Magnesium should also help relax those muscles so that things move. The reason some of you may be experiencing acute constipation right now is because your belly and your digestive system is absolutely connected to your nervous system. In fight or flight response, where it's emergency or a perceived emergency, your body's going to shut down. If you're being chased by a bear, this is not the time for your body to worry about either digesting food or pooping. This is why when people say they were so scared they pooped their pants or they peed themselves, it's literally your nervous system kicking in an acute emergency saying, holy crap, we got to get out of here. And it will literally evacuate everything so you don't have to worry about it until you get to safety. So if you're a little backed up or you find yourself a little backed up over the next few days, a little extra water, but honestly consider some magnesium or an Epsom salt soak. That may help a lot. It will certainly help with regulating and calming and soothing the nervous system and may also help with your sleep, okay? So there's that. So we did the adrenaline, we did the magnesium. The other thing that's very important right now while we're going through this is reboot your brain. If you have not meditated before, if you've thought about meditating, just haven't gotten around to it, or you're like, you've heard of meditation, but you're like, I don't know what the hell that is. This is a really good time to start. Start now. like 60 seconds, 90 seconds, will make a huge difference, because think of meditation as literally rebooting the system. So your brain, that's command central. That is the big master computer that controls everything. So right now we got a whole lot going on and a lot of interference and static on the line. It's extremely important that we shut down, just like our computers, shut the computer down, reboot the system, give it a chance to rest and reorganize itself, and come back. Even 60 seconds of rebooting the system and meditating will make a huge difference in terms of your ability to regulate your nervous system and keep your wits about you and to stay clear-eyed. So those are the things that I would recommend right now moving forward. Also, too, for those of you who are more dissociated from your feelings than normal people, translation, you don't typically get wildly emotional. Like, you tend to bury that stuff down. So it takes longer for you to realize that you're having a feeling and why you're having a feeling. You guys, you weirdos, you know what I'm talking about. You may find that you hurt like hell right now, physically getting up in the morning, like I, for example, am very dissociated from my feelings. So I woke up this morning and I literally felt like I'd been in a bar fight in my sleep last night. I hurt everywhere. Now, the thing about it is, one of the things that science has shown us is that stress and depression will make physical pain worse. Okay. So literally, something that will cause you X amount of pain when you're stressed or depressed will feel 10 times worse than it would any other time. This also means that for those of you who have physical issues that you're dealing with, you're going to be feeling it more because of the stress and anxiety and the 5-alarm fire emergency that we're all dealing with right now. So be aware of that. And try to take care of yourself as best you can. The most helpful thing you can do in these situations where you're having physical pain, okay, is to find something that is soothing and comforting. So if you can afford to get a massage, or you have family or friends that you can rely on, that you're safe with, that can offer you soothing or comforting touch, rubbing your back, rubbing your feet, rubbing your hair, whatever it is, rubbing your belly, like, definitely take advantage of that moment to be soothed and comforted. If you are currently in a situation where you don't have that kind of support system around you, it happens, and you can't afford to go have a professional take care of this for you, then do things for yourself that are soothing and comforting, because we need it. So if you have a pet, go play with a pet. Maybe go down to the shelter and offer to volunteer for a couple of days, play with the kitties and the puppies. Whatever you need to do that provides soothing and comfort for yourself, this is a really good time to give yourself more of that. It's good for you. It'll help reset your nervous system. The other thing to keep in mind is that alcohol, as soothing and comforting as it may seem on the surface, is not going to help. Alcohol and adrenaline don't go well together. And also, while your adrenaline is shooting through you like water out of a fire hose, at the scene of a fire, you also have cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which is also all over the place. So all of these things in connection with alcohol, not going to help. You may find yourself some of you may be triggered and really find yourself gravitating towards the sweets and the starches, because they're comfort foods. I'm not going to tell you no, but I am going to tell you we need to be aware and mindful of what we're doing and how much of it we're doing, so that we can stay on top of this and we don't end up with other problems at the end of that. So those are your self-care tips. I strongly recommend you consider them. We got a few days of this we got to get through. Now, for the dates to watch, get your calendar, circle these dates. June 19th to about June 23rd. So right now, Mars, as of yesterday, went to 0 Virgo, which is great, and would normally suggest that cooler heads are going to prevail. Of course, this is not what we walked into yesterday. And this is an issue on a global level. I think people in the United States, because this is all new for us, and we've been dealing with this administration and all the stuff going on here for a little bit longer, and acutely, meaning it's brand new, so we don't have any experience with this. Like, we're feeling it a little bit more right now. But this particular incident that we're dealing with Iran and Israel, and the horse's ass threatening to get involved, this is a global, like, 5-alarm fire we're all dealing with. Okay, so with that said, mark your calendars, June 19th to about the 23rd. So right now, Mars has moved in Virgo. It's in quincunx to that Saturn-Neptune conjunction in those early degrees of Aquarius. Aries. Sorry, my brain is as scrambled as everybody else's right now. Now, what that does mean with this particular quincunx is a lot of mechanical and technical failures, which we have seen. We've seen some really impressive mechanical and technical failures in association with the nonsense they're trying to do. So things that have to do with war and machines and the military and acts of aggression, there's a whole lot that's not going to go according to plan. So take faith in that. Okay, so that whatever these power crazy like old men are trying to do for their own glorification, like this is not the time to have initiated that. And also, too, things are not going to go according to plan. So, whatever nefarious plans they have will not move smoothly or easily. So keep that under your hat. Now, when the sun gets down there, the sun's going to reach the last degrees of its sign, and then it's going to move into Cancer, which will absolutely set up a square to that Saturn-Neptune. Now, when this happens, just the couple days before, like the 19th and 20th, to about the time the sun finally hits those exact degrees and starts to peel away from a square aspect to that Saturn-Neptune, are the hot days. Those are the days we got to watch. Now, the thing to remember is that up until that point, because the sun rules authority figures, right? And men, but certainly authority figures, we can expect them to continue inflating and beating their chest and, doing everything they can to like be a big rooster, puffing up their chest and showing, displays of dominance until we get past the 23rd. Now, when we get to the 22nd, 23rd, and the sun is in exact square and moving out of that exact square to Saturn Neptune, while Mars is quincunxing it, there is the very real possibility that this could come to an end. We will know what I'm sure of. We will know exactly what we're dealing with as far as a playing field, and there is the very real possibility that this could change the entire game with much better rules. So hang in there. There's more of us than there are of them. We're not powerless. And remember, your thoughts contribute to the vibe and the energy and the direction events go. Okay. For those of you who are interested in doing a little internet research, go online and look up the Maharishi effect. It was a meditation experiment done in Washington, Baltimore, that had profound results. The violent crimes dropped statistically significantly in the hours that they all did a mass meditation. So it works. Mass consciousness, man. It's all about mass consciousness. And the last thing I'm going to give you guys is this. All right. Right now, when we look at the news broadcasts and stuff, like everybody's freaking the hell out, right? Because literally shit has reached critical mass. Okay. So the thing to remember is that with the media and the journalists, we're talking about journalists who are still human beings. These are not EMS, emergency medical systems trained professionals. These are not people who, by their temperament or nature, process things quietly with a stoic face, so as not to panic the people around them. These are journalists. They talk. That's how they process their feelings and also how they organize their thoughts, and they process stuff out. They have to talk about it. That's their temperament. The problem is they're in as much of a panic as the rest of us, which means that there's a whole lot of squawking going on out there. Literally, picture this image: a hen house. A fox has entered the hen house, and now the chickens, plural, are running around squawking chaotically and crazily, running everywhere, right? Making all sorts of noise and chaos because they're in a panic, okay? That's kind of what we're dealing with right now in terms of the media, because we're still dealing with human beings. So it's going to stress you out. It's going to stress anybody out because they're processing. Unfortunately, it's a whole lot of people processing all at the same time, and we can't seem to get away from it. So this might be a good time to put yourself on a strict diet of information until we get past the 21st. And we have a better sense of what's actually going to happen. Okay, so between here and there, expect lots and lots of noise, lots and lots of chest beating, lots and lots of dramatic displays of dominance, from old impotent men, right? I mean, and let's be honest, that's really what this is. These are men who couldn't dominate a donut at this point in their life, and certainly not without medication, and maybe even some physical assistance. And typically, with men who are accustomed to being leaders and in positions of dominance, who also love power. When they lose that ability, they tend to take it out on everybody else. So they have to dominate the room. They have to dominate the family. They have to dominate their team. So the need for domination that normally they would experience through natural functions, which are now not working, they tend to project onto the world around them. And that's, unfortunately, I think, honestly, That's a lot of what we're dealing with. The only saving grace is thank God for Viagra, so maybe that's taken some of the edge off. There are impotence issues, but this is all about power, power grabs, in the face of waning time on the planet and getting older, and physical infirmity. Just saying. Just saying. You can tell yourself that you're 19, but buddy, at 50 some years old and older, like you're not kidding anybody. Like I'm not getting any younger. Neither are you. All right. So that's it. So take a deep breath. Remember, the most important things right now is to keep yourself together. Limit yourself to a strict diet of information reception, because people are processing while they're panicking. That's just going to make things worse for you. It's going to raise your stress levels. Remember, your adrenaline is pumping right now. Okay. And adrenaline is a numbing agent. So don't uh, discount the fact that you may be overstraining yourself physically without realizing it and not feeling the strain or tears or damage that you're doing right now because your adrenaline is going. Make sure you're getting a little extra magnesium or an Epsom salt bath, like a soak, to get the magnesium in your system. That will help regulate and soothe and calm your nervous system. Give yourself soothing, calming things. Give the people around you soothing, calming things. And reboot your brain. Take 30, 60 seconds out every day, frequently through the day if you have to stop and shut down and meditate, to reset your nervous system and to reboot your brain so that you can keep your wits about you. And again, circle your calendars and just know that we don't know how this is going to play out until closer to the 21st. And at that point, we'll know what the playing field is. And I think we're going to be okay. I really believe we're going to be okay. But we got to get there first. And between here and there, it's just a whole lot of noise making. All right. Okay, guys. Take care. Hang in there.